Hi guys, sides 50% girl dad, 50% stay-at-home husband, 100% geek. Hello, 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 hello. Gone through 4 days in Tokyo already in the previous video. And now, going to Osaka. This is a continuation of the video from last time, which technically explained my card hunt in Tokyo. So 4 days went by in Ikebukuro, Shibuya, Shinjuku, Disneyland, Mount Fuji, Gotemba, and didn't find any cards that I was looking for. And sadly, no cards for my 4-day stay in Tokyo. I think granted, time wasn't really on my side. We had a lot planned for the 3 of the 4 days that we had there. So every after the day's activity, we would go back to the hotel in the evening already. And just as a FYI, most of the stores in Japan, Tokyo or Osaka usually close early. It would either be 9 or 10 p.m. They're already closing. And usually the only stores that are open later are convenies or convenience stores, 7-Eleven, Lawson, Family Mart. Aside from that, you can see the occasional fast food chain like McDonald's, but they usually also close very early, around 10 p.m. So yeah, time wasn't on my side, and sadly, even with the reputation of Ikebukuro for being one of the anime and hobby centers in Japan, wasn't able to really explore, didn't even get to go to Card Secret, as I mentioned in the previous video. On the 4th day, we transfer to Osaka. So we went from the hotel going to Tokyo Station to ride the Shinkansen. Shinkansen is a bullet train that usually takes you either going north or going south. So for our case, we went south, going to the Kansai region, or specifically Osaka. For anyone planning to go, I highly suggest that you go there an hour earlier than your scheduled train. Tokyo Station is a big station. It would take a long time for you to actually be familiar with what platform you're supposed to go, what gates or what entrances or what turnstiles you're supposed to take for you to go to the train that you're supposed to ride. And there are lots of restaurants. I think there are stores there, and there is I believe there's a Pokemon store there that sells a Tokyo Station exclusive Pikachu plushie. So if you're into that, most of the Pokemon centers and Pokemon stores for each region or for each location has a very exclusive, or there has an exclusive Pikachu plushie design. So I think for Kyoto there are Pikachus that dress in kimonos. Even in Narita Airport, there is a Pikachu that's dressed as either a pilot or a flight attendant. So that's your thing. I think that's a good thing to go. That's a good thing to plan for. So if you're in Tokyo Station, you can actually explore more if you go there early. Unfortunately for us, we arrived around 45 minutes or 30 minutes before our scheduled train. So we were actually rushing to find which gate to go into, how to get to the platform. And when we arrived at the platform, it was already, I think, 10 minutes before the train's scheduled departure. So we really didn't have any time to go around Tokyo Station. So yeah, if you're going to Tokyo Station, if you're going to ride the Shinkansen, be at least an hour earlier. So you'll be more relaxed. That's another thing. We were rushing the whole time and we were looking for where we're supposed to go in Tokyo Station. So the Shinkansen took around, how long did it take? I think it took around an hour and 30 minutes from Tokyo to Osaka. This is if you're riding the Nozomi Shinkansen, which is the faster Shinkansen because it has a lot less stops. In Kyoto, I think when we passed by was covered in snow. So that's a good view while riding the Shinkansen. You could also see Mount Fuji if you're lucky, if there are no clouds when you're leaving Tokyo and going to Osaka. So when we arrived in Osaka, we got out via the Shin Osaka station, and someone was there to pick us up to bring us to our hotel. The hotel was in Shinsaibashi. I think it's Stay and Go Shinsaibashi. Shinsaibashi is it's close to Dotonbori, it's close to the Namba station, close to the Shinsaibashi station. And I think the good thing about our accommodations there in Osaka is it was really close to a lot of arcades. Arcades not as a arcade amusement video games and everything. It's arcades in Japan are technically shopping halls or shopping streets. It has a lot of restaurants, a lot of shops, a lot of pharmacies. So if you need anything, the closer you are to an arcade, the better, because at least you have access to anything that you need. If you need to eat somewhere, you can just go there. If you need to buy anything like vitamins, you're feeling under the weather, medicine, you have a pharmacy. And if you're looking for stores that you buy from, you can actually buy luggage, for example. So yeah, we had a arcade close by, and then after we cross the road, there's Shinsaibashi Shuji, which is a bigger shopping arcade, which has more brand name shops like Nike, Adidas, Uniqlo, GU, Asics, Onitsuka. So yeah, and it also has two malls, which is one is Parco. So we have a Parco in Shinsaibashi and Daimaru. Yeah. So when we arrived in Osaka in the afternoon. So a bit more, we were tired during the travel. Just wanted to rest, and I just went out to probably scout the area and see what we can buy for food. So went to the closer shopping arcade, found that they had some restos, sushi conveyor belt restaurant. They had Koko Ichibani, which is close, which is a curry store, and a lot of pharmacies. And the most important thing, there is a 7-Eleven close by. So if we needed to withdraw, at least for something, and if we wanted to buy breakfast early in the morning, at least we have 7-Eleven. And it was just bought something from McDonald's and went back. The next day, we went to Universal Studios. Daughter enjoyed everything. When we got in, Sesame Street characters were already waiting in the entrance area, so had a lot of picture taken. And went to the Minions area, and it snowed in Universal Studios when we were there. So while we were crossing over to Jurassic Park, it was snowing. And then I think the highlight for us was going into Hogwarts, the Harry Potter zone. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go into Nintendo World because when I was booking for an area time entry pass, the time that was available was the time that we were about to leave. When we were about to be picked up from Universal Studios. So unfortunately, we weren't able to go to Nintendo World, but we will be going back soon. Yeah, more or less next year. And we got back to the hotel really early, so it was time for me to formally start my hunt in Osaka. So went walking in the shopping arcade close by. Was able to scout there. There was a book off in the first shopping arcade. Unfortunately, it was smaller. Really didn't have a lot of variety inside compared to the book off in Ikebukuro, which was bigger. So really didn't see anything there. So I went over to the Shinsaibashi Shuji arcade and went into Daimaru. Not really going. I didn't go into Parko. I went to Daimaru. Daimaru, I chose Daimaru because of there were signages that said that they have a Pokemon Center and a jump shop. So for those, jump shop is related to Shonen Jump. So anime, manga. So yeah, went to the 6th floor at Daimaru, found the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, it's the same situation with the 2 Pokemon stores that I found in Tokyo. The newer expansions or sets for Pokemon, the Japanese versions of Surging Sparks and Terrestrial Festival are sold out. So yeah, no luck in the Pokemon Center in Osaka. For those looking, beside the Pokemon Center is the Pokemon Cafe in Osaka. So it's in Daimaru. So if you guys want to check that out, yeah, it's on the 6th floor beside Pokemon Center. But based on what I'm seeing online, you have to have a reservation a month in advance. So yeah. And when I went to the jump shop, it's more anime merch. It's an anime merch store. No cards, unfortunately. And beside the Pokemon Center, in between Pokemon Center and Jump Shop, there was a card store there, but it was selling mostly singles, and it was more variety. They had baseball, football, basketball cards. Also had One Piece cards, singles. They also had didn't see if there were. I didn't notice if they had Pokemon single cards, but yeah, there wasn't really I wasn't really looking for singles, unfortunately. So yeah, went through Shinsaibashi Shuji and then got to Dotonbori. Dotonbori is technically just a long street that has a lot of street food. So takoyaki, okonomiyaki, kushikatsu, which are technically an assortment of deep fried breaded stuff. You can have breaded quail eggs on a stick, something like that. You can also get king crab, roasted or grilled king crab. You can get what else? Gyoza, crab meat stuffed meat buns, roasted sweet potatoes. Yeah, it's just a long street of all those kinds of stuff. And you can also find Don Quixote in Dotonbori. And since it was 11 already, we went back, and I found, while going back, a store in the arcade that was closer to the hotel. The store was Metal Box, and looking at the posters outside, it's a hobby store. Unfortunately, during the time around close to 12 midnight, it was already closed. So that was I I decided the next day to visit. That was my target because technically the next day after that was going to be the last full day that we had in Osaka, because on the fourth day in Osaka, early morning we'll be going to the airport already and we'll be leaving Japan. So yeah, the next day we had a tour scheduled for Kyoto, for Nara. Went to Nara Park where you can feed the deers. The deers were more aggressive than we expected. I had a lot of deers biting my jacket for some reason.
Oh, wait lang po.
Fortunately, they weren't rough with my daughter,
Ang
but
lalaki
they
nila.
were rough with me. Sadly. But yeah, we went there, we saw the Todaiji Temple, and then after that, we went to Fushimi Inari, which is one of the shrines in Kyoto, which had the 1,000 torii gates, or 1,000 torii gates going up the mountain to go to the temple or shrine proper. And then after that, we went to Ninenzaka and Sanenzaka, which is if you're a fan of, shall we say, period pieces from like the samurai era of Japan, you're going to enjoy Ninenzaka and Sanenzaka because it really looks like sets from those types of movies, animes like Rurouni Kenshin. Looks like that. Unfortunately, no cards. So after that, we went back to the hotel earlier again. So we had more time to shop, go around Osaka, go around Shinsaibashi Shuji, go around Dotonbori. And the first day, after we arrived in the hotel, the first place that I went to is Metal Box. And yeah, it's a full-fledged hobby anime store. You have merch, accessories, action figures. The one I did see there was Blue Lock, Haikyuu, Cardcaptor Sakura, Ranma. I also found Gun Plus. I think the one that I was very, very tempted to get was the real grade Epion. And beside the counter, you have their cards. So you had One Piece, you had Pokemon, and you had Larcana. So, jackpot?
Jackpot.
For Pokemon, same situation. No new sets. No Surging Sparks or Terrestrial Festival. For One Piece, the choices were better. You had from OP06 to OP09, and you also had EB01 and PRB01. Those were the sets that were available for One Piece. And for Larcana, they were selling packs and booster boxes of One Piece first chapter. Larcana first chapter. And you also had the 3 pre-constructed starter decks for Larcana. So looking at the price of the booster box, it was around 5,000, I believe 5,200 yen. So that's probably around 2,060 something pesos, Philippine pesos. So I think that's a good price for this one. So you have 16 packs of 6 cards per pack. So that's, yeah, it's at, oh my god, sorry. So it's at 2,000, less than 2,100. I think that's good price. So I got two. I opened one, and I'll keep the other one. The other one, I'll keep it sealed. The other one, I'll keep it sealed. And for the one that I opened, I think the best hit that I got was a foil Maleficent Dragon. Yeah, it's the Maleficent Dragon form. At least I got what I was actually looking for. So I have a sealed first chapter Lorcana already here, along with my first chapter Lorcana pack. I'm good with that. And I did buy a couple of packs of OP08 because I was looking for a copy of Secret Rare Rayleigh to put in my Shanks deck. And I bought a couple of packs of OP09 since I'm still hunting for a Manga Goldie Roger. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm lucky in Japan since I didn't also get a hit in any of the packs that I opened in Japan. And yeah, so unlucky. But I still got what I was targeting. And yeah, and then the next day we were picked up at around 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. from the hotel to go to Kansai International Airport and got back in the Philippines at around 7 p.m. So that's it. So how was the card hunting experience in Japan? So for 4 days in Tokyo, I didn't get anything. 4 days in Osaka, I was able to find Lorcana and bought a couple of One Piece packs, but I think it's not really representative of how a normal card hunting trip to Japan would be, because most of the time, I think what happened was in Ikebukuro, when we stayed in Tokyo, time wasn't really on my side. We had more things planned to do as a family in Tokyo rather than in Osaka. And we also would get back to the hotel in Tokyo at around 8 p.m., 7 p.m., which didn't really leave much time for just going around in Ikebukuro. Because I know from what I've researched, there are a lot more hobby stores, hobby shops in Ikebukuro versus where we stayed in Osaka. Probably it's just because in Osaka I had more time to actually go around by myself in Osaka rather than in Tokyo. So yeah. So it's not really representative. I would highly suggest, if you're going to go to Japan to hunt for cards, really just mark places that you want to go and at least have more free time to actually go there versus what happened with me. But either way, had fun. We'll be going back there probably early next year again, probably the same time, to go to Universal Studios, to at least go into Nintendo World, and then still try to look for places that will sell cards. Probably look for more Japan exclusive cards for either Pokemon or One Piece. And I'm targeting to go to Denden Town in Osaka, which is technically their little Akihabara in Osaka. And yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any questions regarding the trip, you want to have more details regarding how we plan the trip or anything, just put them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer as best I can. And what else? Shout out to Dogratson. He actually commented on the previous video saying that, wow, I just went to Japan last year and our trips are a bit identical, just much fewer days in Tokyo. I really felt my Osaka trip, especially Denden Town, was more fruitful. Looking forward to the next video. Yeah, thank you for commenting and liking. But yeah, I actually agree. The family had more fun in Osaka. Not sure why, but yeah. I did miss out on Denden Town though, but yeah. When we go back to Osaka next year, we'll have Denden Town marked as one of the targets that I need to go to. And yeah, again, thank you for commenting on the last video, Dogritson. Hope you'll enjoy this video. Do I have anything more? So if you like this type of talking head videos, just let me know. But the regularly scheduled daily pack openings will still continue. And yeah, again, from last video, which was I did that video to commemorate hitting more than 50 subscribers. As of right now, I already have 61, so we already have 11 subscribers added. So again, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, thank you for just watching. Thank you. See, again, guys, this is Sides, 50% girl dad, 50% stay-at-home husband, 100% geek. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Bye.